Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to build million-dollar businesses without sacrificing their health, relationships, or happiness, who understand that in order to build their empire, they need a solid foundation, and that the more they are thriving, the more their business is thriving too. This show brings you the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist turned mindset and high-performance coach for entrepreneurs, and I help you get wired for success. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. Now, before we dive into today's episode, I want to share something that has been an absolute game changer for me lately. As you might know, all your behavior is driven by two main components, your physiology and your psychology. So if your body is run down because you eat crappy food, you don't exercise, and you don't sleep, well, you can't really expect to deliver your best work. So that's the physiology part. Think of it as the engine that enables your work. If you don't take good care of that engine, it will break down eventually. On the other hand, even if you eat a healthy diet and you exercise 5 times a week, but you're constantly feeling anxious, overwhelmed, and you just can't break free from your negative thought spirals, again, you won't be able to deliver your best work. That's the psychology part of the equation. So whenever you're trying to create a profound shift in your state or a lasting change in your behavior, you will want to look at those two main components and figure out how to nudge them in the right direction. Both parts are essential and they are linked by intricate feedback loops, so you want to make sure you pay attention to both parts. But sometimes, one of them is just so much easier to nudge in the direction that you want it to go, and it therefore makes sense to start there. So let me illustrate what I mean by giving you an example. You know those days when you just can't seem to get into the groove. You're trying to focus, you're trying to be productive, but something is just not clicking. Yeah, I've been there too. A couple of months ago, I noticed that my energy levels were kind of low and I had a hard time concentrating during the day. And I wasn't quite sure what was going on. I hadn't really made any big changes to my routines. And I thought, well, it might just be a winter thing induced by, not enough sunlight or something. And funnily enough, that was about the time when the guys from Magic Mind reached out to me because they were interested in a collaboration. Now, if you run a top podcast, you get lots of emails from people who want something from you. So in the beginning, I was a little standoffish. I mean, who are those guys? To be honest, I hadn't heard of Magic Mind before. So I did a little digging and discovered that Magic Mind is the world's first productivity drink. And it has acquired quite a big following and lots of amazing testimonials from happy customers. Well, next I had a look at the ingredients. And it sounded really good. A great mix of ingredients that support your energy metabolism and ingredients that help your body reduce stress. What can I say? It looked legit. And I mean, Joe Rogan had it on his podcast and the Kardashians are drinking it. You can't ask for more in terms of credibility, right? So the fact that they were interested in a collaboration was kind of flattering, but still, I hadn't tried their product for myself and I wasn't going to promote something that I hadn't tried myself. Since they got me curious, I agreed to test the product to see what I think about it. Now, you can either drink it alongside your morning coffee or you replace your morning coffee with it. I decided to drink it alongside my morning cup of joe. Now, call me a skeptic, but despite the hype, I didn't really expect to notice much. What I noticed pretty quickly, though, was the promised increase in energy level, which was awesome, especially since it wasn't like the coffee high that often makes me jittery and nervous because I'm quite sensitive to caffeine. It was more of a longer lasting energy boost without the caffeine crash. And after drinking it every morning for 4 days, I noticed an additional benefit. I felt alert, but very calm at the same time. Now that's awesome, right? I had an important interview that day and a lot of stressful things going on in my personal life, things that had me worried that I would not be able to focus and concentrate during the interview. But to my surprise, I was able to stay calm and focused, and the interview went really, really well. Phew! It's like my mind is clearer, sharper, and I'm ready to tackle whatever the day throws at me. So that's awesome. And honestly, being alert and calm is the best state you can be in if you would like to increase your productivity. That's the sweet spot of nervous system activation that you want to aim for. Because this is where the magic happens, when you have enough energy and you can focus it. Because that's very important too, right? If you have a ton of energy, but you can't focus that energy, then you're just bouncing all over the place like a toddler on a sugar high. Now, what's the magic inside this little magic shot, you might ask? Well, let me break it down for you. So, Magic Mind is packed with all natural ingredients sourced from the best suppliers out there. We're talking about matcha for extended release caffeine, Bacopa monnieri for improved attention span and memory, ashwagandha for reduced stress and anxiety, and so much more. It's like a powerhouse of goodness in every sip. So that clearly was a case where it was easier to shift my state in the desired direction by going down the physiology route. And all it took was the addition of a delicious shot to my morning routine. Don't you just love those easy fixes? I wouldn't be sharing this with you if I didn't truly believe in this product. Magic Mind has been a game changer for me, and I know it can do the same for you. Whether you're a busy parent, an entrepreneur, or just someone looking to boost their productivity, Magic Mind has got you covered. I'm super proud that they decided to partner with me and sponsor this episode. If you want to experience the magic for yourself, you can get it at magicmind.com/wiredfs. That's magicmind.com/WIREDFS. And if you use the code WIREDFS20, again, that's WIREDFS20, you can get up to 56% off your first subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. Trust me, it's worth it. And by the way, if you want to make the most out of this discount code, get the 30-pack because it's the best value. They're also one of the few companies with a 100% money-back guarantee, no questions asked. There's really no risk. So if you don't like it, they will just refund in 3 to 4 hours. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. My guest today is Tabea Gumrich, a former investment manager who became a holistic life and business coach and who supports her clients to live a long, healthy, self-determined, and happy life. And according to her philosophy, mental strength for growth and professional success can only arise on the basis of physical health, as well as a strong alignment of one's life with one's own needs, values, and ideas. And I couldn't agree more, and I love her holistic approach. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about this today. Welcome, Tabea, and thank you so much for talking today.
Thank you, Claudia. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Now, Tabea, we've both had quite a radical career change, and I think it got triggered by maybe similar realizations, but I'm curious to hear more about your story. So can you share your personal story from being an investment manager to becoming a holistic life and business coach? What inspired this transition, and how did it change your life?
Yes, sure. As Tabea said, I started as a business analyst working for a venture capital firm and became an investment manager. And during my career start, let's say that way, I realized that I was constantly asked to make a choice between my health and my career. And I decided that it's not a choice I'm willing to make, because I already then had the opinion that it's possible to build a career on a healthy ground. And you can also observe that in our society, this paradox that people are willing to give up all their time and their health to build a career, and at some point when they build the career, or when they think it's not worth it, they again give up all the time, and this time they hardly earn money to rebuild their health, and sometimes that is not even possible. So I decided not to do that, and I decided to go a different way. And I started studying holistic health part-time during my job as an investment manager. And after finishing the study, I became a mentor for holistic health, focusing exactly on this part of area where I combined health and having a career. And working with my clients, I realized that it's less about telling people what is healthy to do or to eat. So it was less about knowledge, but much more about designing life on a daily basis. So more about talking about purpose and how do my clients want their daily life to look like? What do they want to do? And it was much more talking about life than talking about nutrition, sports, and stuff. So I decided to also become a systemic life and business coach. And today I combine these two approaches. So on the one hand, I always work on the mental and physical health part with my clients because that, like you said, is the basis for everything else. But building on this, we're talking a lot about goals in life and purpose and how life should look like and how they can design a fulfilled and long and healthy life. So that's what I do and how I became a holistic life and business coach.
Thank you so much for sharing. That totally resonates with me. I've had some similar realizations, as I had mentioned before. And I just find that, as you said, so often it's not the information that's missing, it's just the implementation. And people need a little more hand-holding
Yeah, exactly.
to change their lives. So how did this transition change your life?
Oh, yeah, good question. Actually, it changed my life a lot because when you're young, when you come out of university and start your first job, you want to do everything right and want to be good in what you do. And I worked. I started early. I worked really long hours and tried to squeeze in my sport and nutrition at some point. So I got up at 6, went to the gym, worked out for an hour or two, went to my job, and after my job, I again went to my training and came home at 11 just to get some sleep, and then started all over again. So it was quite exhausting, and my career or my life changed completely. Nowadays, I take a lot more time for myself, for my mental as well as physical health. So I take a lot more time for preparing good food, for taking an hour or two in the morning to really balance myself and get a clear focus for the day. So because what I realized is that if you put your mental health, your physical health, and your fulfillment first, you will always be successful and build your career on your own values instead of trying to do everything right and be really exhausted at the end of the day. So today I feel healthy, I feel balanced, and I feel happy and fulfilled instead of being quite negative most of the time because you're feeling like you're not good enough and you're not able to manage it the right way.
Yeah, congratulations. Sounds amazing. Now, that's super, super positive, but I bet you also have some bad days along the way. Have there ever been days where you maybe regretted your career change, or what kind of challenges have you experienced so far?
There was not a single day where I regretted, not at all. Of course, sometimes I will not say missing the old topics. I loved being in investment and talking to startups every day and getting to know the newest, craziest ideas. So that might be a small part I'm missing. But I never regret my choice. And the second part of the question was about tough times or something?
Yeah, just the challenges along the way that you have experienced so far and how you overcome them.
Yeah. Good question. I mean, when you get self-employed, of course, or at least for me, it was that way. First of all, you work much more than before. So
Too.
it's not like it's balanced from the beginning and now I'm totally free and can spend half of the day for myself and taking care of myself. No, it definitely wasn't like that. So when I started being self-employed, of course, I had to build up a lot and put a lot of work and effort in it. And there was a point when I realized that it's going far away from what I planned. So that I was kind of the same status of being exhausted and running behind. So that is when I had to kind of make a cut and refocus on why I dropped out of my job and decided to choose a different career. And so I took a week off and thought a lot and started to rebuild strong routines, let's say that way, and put my priorities in order again. So I put myself and my health first, and actually the rest kind of falls to place then. And it makes it so much easier when you're in a good shape mentally and physically, and you're much more stronger and full of energy, and the rest gets much more easy.
That's absolutely. But I mean, it's always so easy to fall back into those old patterns. So if you
Definitely.
used to work a lot before, you kind of create a new scenario, which is the same old thing, just like different clothes, but the same thing,
Exactly.
essentially. Now, again, if you could go back in time and do things differently, are there any other things that come to mind that you would do differently or that you would change if you had to do it all again?
You mean also the being employed part, or from the moment where I started building my self-employment or my own business?
I let you choose.
What would I do differently? That's a really good question.
I mean, if there's nothing that comes to mind, that's not a problem at all. It's just sometimes, you feel like, okay, if I had to do it over, I would change this one thing, or maybe those two things.
Yeah. There's nothing that pops up immediately because I'm quite happy where I am now. And of course, it wasn't always easy and good, but I'm happy where it ends up, let's say that way. So I wouldn't change much. Just one thing that just pops up is maybe I would get, let's say, help or advice earlier, because when I started being self-employed and building my own business, I did more or less everything on my own. So I built my website, I did all the graphic design, I did everything on my own. And of course, it costs a lot of time and resources. And as well as thinking about the strategy. And you always have to, you go out there with an assumption and then you try to prove it or start from the beginning again. And in this strategic process, I think I would involve nowadays a coach much earlier, or a program that can help me to fasten this process. I think that's the only thing I would change.
I totally get it. But that said, it's kind of like when you know that it worked out okay, it's easy to say you would maybe have, try to get it on the fast track. But then when you're in the situation and you don't know yet whether it's going to work or if it's not going to work, then of course you're trying to, save your resources and try to do everything yourself. So it's kind of it's the hindsight bias, probably.
Yeah, definitely. But I think sometimes you have to kind of risk some resources to get it done more easily and have more resources in the long run, because time also costs resources.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned habits before and how important they are. So, what are your key habits that help you stay happy, healthy, and productive? What does a typical day in your life look like?
Yeah. One of my key habits is my morning routine, which I do every morning, independently of the question if I'm at home or if I'm somewhere else. So I always have my yoga mat with me and do my morning routine, which consists of first mobilizing the joints, and then I do a little by yoga inspired flow, let's say it that way. It is not a real yoga flow, but it's inspired by yoga, and it also has some strengthening parts which really focus on especially the back for the straight back, which is always good to have. And then it is followed by a meditation, which also contains affirmation parts. And then it is there's only another impulse for having a clear mind for the day. So what am I going to focus on today? And also the question what I'm grateful for. So this is the morning routine, which is one of my strongest routines. And after that, there's some kind of nutrition routine. So I drink a big glass of warm lemon water to push my metabolism, exactly. And I start eating at lunch. So I skip the breakfast and start eating at noon, but eating breakfast for lunch then. And so it's all a little bit different. I have some quite strong, how to say, eating principles which I follow, which give me a lot of energy. For example, no sugar, no grains, lots of vegetables, of course, to drink enough, and stuff like that, and which oils I use for what. So that are my eating habits in a really shortly said. I think that are most of my habits and routines. And of course, doing sports. I do sports every morning, or at least every day. If I cannot do it in the morning, I do it in the afternoon. So I do this little flexibility routine every morning, and then I switch between high intensity training and running. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yay, same here.
Oh, nice. Running at high intensity as well, or what is it you do?
Yeah, so I used to just run, and then at some point, like over the last 2 years, maybe I did more and more running up to 50K, and then I decided, well, actually, that's too one-sided, and I should probably integrate some of the other things as well, like strength training and the high intensity training, because they have different adaptations and give your body different benefits. So now I'm trying to incorporate more of those, a little bit of high intensity training, a little bit of resistance training, which is great for strength. So I'm trying to have a more varied approach to exercise right now.
Amazing. That sounds really great.
Yeah, love it. Now, your approach integrates, as you said, holistic nutrition with the systemic coaching. How do you see the connection between the physical health and professional success, and how has that philosophy shaped your coaching style?
The connection between the physical health and business success. Your physical health is the basis for being energized and being able to, even have business success. So if I'm physically exhausted because I eat only bad food and I don't move, I will not have the energy, concentration, and the endurance to be successful on a business level. So there's a really strong connection, and there's also, which studies show, a really strong connection between having, healthy eating habits and mental well-being. So if I, and this is especially strong in women, let's say that as well. If a woman, or if we feel like we haven't eaten the right thing, for many of us, that means an impact on our mental well-being. So this connection is quite strong, and therefore it is also needed to be mentally fit for business success. And the second part of the question was how it changed my life.
Just how it shaped your coaching style. So how do you translate this philosophy into your coaching style?
Yeah, how it transported. Yeah, of course. When I started, as I said, I worked a lot on the physical side and realized, okay, it's not only about the physical side, because when you solve the issues on the other side, like how do I want my daily life to look like, sometimes the issues on the nutrition side falls into place as well. So it's not that I focus on one side of it. It's more like being an integrative model. I always have a look with my clients on the physical and mental well-being first. So I have a look at their routines, at their nutrition, and then we adapt it. It does not always have to be like big changes. Sometimes there are only small things that have a massive impact. So first of all, we look at that, and then from there we dive deeper into the purpose and fulfillment part.
Sounds good. Now, how do you find your clients, or how do your clients find you? What's your main channel or your main strategy?
Yeah, different ones. I travel a lot, and I have corporations with some hotels, and there I give lectures for the guests. So I'm a lot on the road, traveling, giving lectures, and by that I find many of my clients. But I am also on, of course, Instagram, LinkedIn. I also started TikTok, but I haven't, how to say, captured that game yet. Or mastered that game yet. I'm still in the process there. But yeah, the main channels are getting to know my clients personally, or on a personal basis first, because it's such an individual and private topic I'm working on with them, that it's always better to get a feeling for each other, let's say it that way.
Yeah, the personal connection is really important there.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
As an educated mentor for holistic nutrition, you already hinted at that, but can you dive a little deeper into what a healthy diet looks like to you and why?
Yeah. A healthy diet does not contain grains or sugar. These are and no chemicals, of course, so no processed foods. These are, I think, the three main things not to include in your healthy diet. Why? The grains causes inflammations in our gut, which costs a lot of energy to be healed, and that energy is energy you are missing if you want to be successfully in business. Sugar, of course, is not good for us because it causes blood sugar spikes, and when these ones drop, you are losing focus and energy as well. And chemicals like all the things that are added to processed foods are simply not good for us, because everything you eat sends information to every cell of your body. And if you eat processed food and chemicals and things that your body does not know, it will send kind of wrong information, or your body cannot read these informations that are sent, and therefore you will have some malfunction, and you will get older much faster. So these are the three things I would not recommend to eat or include in your diet. But what can you do on the other hand? Drinking a lot of water, drinking water, still water, and filtered water is one principle I include. And for most people, they need between 2 and 3 liters of still water, additionally to tea, coffee, and stuff like that. And what else? Having breaks between 2 meals, and so that your body can bring down blood sugar levels and stuff like that. And these breaks should be between, at least 5 hours. But if you have only 3 meals a day, that's quite easily done. And the 6th principle I would always recommend is to have a look at the oils you use. For example, there are only 2 oils that can be heated, and that one is coconut oil and ghee, and all the other oils should not be heated, because then they change their form, which makes them inefficient for your body. So I think these are the 6 most important principles I would recommend.
Those are great guidelines. Thank you so much for sharing. Can you maybe share some more of your favorite tips for sticking to such a healthy diet when you're on a busy schedule? Because that's when things usually fall apart, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the most important thing is preparation. So when you're on a busy schedule, take some time in advance and prepare your day, your week, whatever period is possible for you. So you can use meal prep. And for me, for example, while I was still working within the area of investment management, of course, there have been a lot of busy days. And I think everyone working in this area knows that there are these typical, let's say, lunch meetings where you get just some prepared rolls during a meeting, so you're not even having a break. And of course, rolls are grains, and therefore you cannot stick to this principle. And their preparation is the most important part. And for example, myself, I always had nuts and I still have. I still have nuts in all of my bags, which I'm carrying around with me, in case that I am somewhere where I cannot get what I need. So where I cannot get healthy foods because I refuse to eat the stuff that is not good for me. So I think preparation is one of the most important things. And in most contexts, you can bring something for you, or let the food be adapted. If you say that you are intolerant to grain, there's always another possibility. So it's all about preparation, communication, and raising your own standard, and stick to your standards. I think that's an important point, really, to make it your standard and not accepting anything else.
Yeah, preparation is key for sure. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners today?
Anything else I would like to share? I could have thought about that question. Yes, it's all about setting your priorities right. What comes first, your mental and physical health and your fulfillment, or your career, and then at some point your health? So it's all about your priorities and making yourself a priority. Because if you're a priority in your life, and you're full of energy, you're successful, you're fulfilled, you have much more to give to others as well than if you do it the other way around and you're already exhausted. Then you have nothing to give and nothing to change in society.
I totally agree. You have to fill your own cup first. Now,
exactly.
Where can our listeners find you online if they would like to learn more about you or simply connect with you?
They can find me on my website at tabea-gumrich.de, as well as on Instagram, just using my name, Tabea Gumrich, in one word.
Perfect. Tabea, thank you so much for talking today and for sharing all those tips and insights with us. This was fun.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it a lot.
Take care and talk soon. Bye.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. That's a fantastic, easy, and zero-cost way to help the show grow. Just use the link in the show notes and make my day. Want more? For quick, actionable tips and insights to guided meditations and a side of biohacking, join my inner circle and get access to exclusive subscriber-only content. Again, just use the link in the show notes to join the tribe. Thank you for your support and see you on the other side. Take care and talk soon. Bye.